Jeff Nunn here, Coldwell Banker La Jolla. Welcome to this week's edition of the Jeff Nunn Show. Today I want to talk about the step 2 of our 5-step listing conversation. As you know, step 1 was the personal home assessment, where we determine what we have before we can determine how we're going to price it. Now, most agents are going to do what, again, I call a throwback to the 80s, and that's the old school competitive market analysis, or what's commonly referred to as a CMA. It's going to come out, and it's going to look like this, okay? It's going to show property addresses, it's going to show bedrooms, baths, square footage, it's going to show days on market, and it's going to show the current list price. And there's a couple problems with that. One is it shows the current list price, and that might not be reflective of where they started. But more importantly, let me show you a little something. What we do here at Coldwell Banker La Jolla is called a financial X-ray of the market. It's a step beyond and a deeper dive into the pricing of a home that most agents don't do because it takes extra work. But trust me, agents out there, if you're watching this, you do this and you're going to score some big points with your sellers because it's much more accurate. Let me show you how, okay? So in this case here, we have 12 comparable homes that are 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1,500 to about 2,000 square feet here in La Jolla, priced between $1.5 and $2 million. Must be one of my fans calling. Let me shut this off. Okay, can you hear that, Courtney? It's off now. Okay, so here's what I discovered. We have 12 active listings, so if I'm going to put your house on the market, I'm going to show you some numbers. And it's going to be Mr. and Mrs. Seller. There's 12 homes like yours that you're competing against. And the average days on market, according to this, is 43. The CMA shows an average of 43 days on the market. But that's not right. So we're going to take this, we're going to throw it away. Because an X-ray of the market reveals this, folks. The X-ray of the market shows the average days on market of the same sample properties is 129 days. Quite a bit different, almost 3 times as long on the market as what most agents are going to show you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, as the condition of the market. So, for example, let me show you. There's a home here. I won't give the address out, but in MLS it shows 72 days. But I did some property history research on it and found out that not only was it listed for 60 days prior, but prior to that for 120 days. So total days on market was 252 days. Quite a bit different than the 72 reflected here in the CMA. The next property was on the market for an additional 60 days, not the 3 days that it shows in MLS. The one below that was on the market for 300 days prior to it being listed and shown here as being on the market for 54 days. So again, what does that tell you? 41% of the active listing inventory for this comparable property have a history that most agents don't reveal and discuss with the seller. Now, if I'm a seller and I know a home down the street's been on the market for 300 some days, and my agent comes in and puts this crap in front of me without doing their homework, and it says, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you know the home down the street was only on the market for 3 days. I'm going to lose some points with that seller. Yes or yes. Of course I am. So here's a tip to you agents out there. Please do the property history function on every comparable you have, because to me, you're going to get rid of that one too. Of the 12 listings, 5 have a history. That's 41% of the current listing inventory for this property have a history to tell that most agents don't divulge to the seller. I think we owe it to our sellers to do a better job in understanding what the marketplace is. And I don't care if you're in another state or somewhere else, the same principle applies. You have to be able to show the sellers that you truly know what's going on in the marketplace. And when MLS shows 43 days on the market, but the reality is 129 days, I'd want to know that if I'm the seller, because I want to manage my expectations of when it's likely that my home is going to sell. So that's the message for the week. I hope you found it helpful. Tune in next week. We're going to have some more good stuff for you. Folks, thank you very much and have a great week.